I'm sitting here with a huge stack of about 20 different video games from all different consoles over the years. I'm actually going to go through and rate the packages for each different console and tell you what I think about it. Starting off with the NES, which came in these nice boxes, but let's be honest, most of us threw these boxes away when we were younger. But we did usually keep the game and the dust jacket, which was kind of a nice look. I give it a 5 out of 10. And it was such a popular look that there was even knockoffs like this one from the store Funko Land. Check it out, they made their own dust jacket for NES games. Then a few years later we got the Game Boy games, which also came in cardboard boxes, but we usually threw those out. But they did come with these little plastic cases, which were actually kind of nice. They kind of protected the game. I usually ended up throwing mine away and just keeping the game like this. This was a good way to store it so that it wouldn't get damaged or something if you were going on a trip. You could just keep it in this nice case. I give this a 6 out of 10. PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16 came in these Joule cases that reminded me of CD cases, but the games for those consoles were actually these Hue cards that were like little credit cards, and they also came in these nice little sleeves of plastic. Now at the time that these consoles came out, this was pretty new technology, these CD looking cases, so I'll have to give this an 8 out of 10. Super Nintendo games also came in cardboard boxes, which we usually threw away, but they did also come with these little plastic dust sleeve things that would kind of sit on your table. They did at least make it so the game wouldn't wobble if they were sitting on your table. Because it didn't really add too much to the game, I'm only going to give this a 4 out of 10. Sega Genesis changed the game with these cases. They are so high quality. They're made of thick plastic. There's beautiful artwork to be displayed on the back, on the spine, and on the front. We got our instruction manual over here, and we got the area for a game on the right side. Now, the one thing that I will say about these cases that I don't like is that a lot of times the instruction manual would slide over. There's a flaw that would let them slide over, and then they get scrunched up like that, because when you close it, they'd always get like scrunched up in the side. And then you see a lot of manuals that are all bent up. So other than that flaw, it is just an incredible package, and it was so revolutionary. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Then for some reason, a few years later, Sega got really cheap on us and tried to save money, and they gave us these pieces of crap cardboard, which are a really big step down from these nice Genesis game cases that they gave us at first. I mean, look at this. You see how badly these things fall apart over the years because they're just made of cardboard. There's nothing really good about these cases other than being able to see the artwork easily on them. And the one thing I really don't like about these cases is that you have to put like the manuals down underneath here, and they're really hard to get to, so you had to like open the sides. These cases were just a mess. I know they're probably trying to save money from the Genesis clamshell cases, but this is not the way to do it. And it's the same idea with the 32X a couple years later. They just changed the color to be yellow, so it looks a little bit different, but these two things are just some garbage. I give them both a 2 out of 10. And then we finally started to get into these Joule CD cases, similar like what we had with the TurboGrafx 16 a few years earlier. And these things are pretty good. I like them. I like how you have the instruction manual over here. It kind of slides out. You look inside, and there's the beautiful artwork. And there's the disc right here that keeps it nice and protected. There's stuff on the back too. The only thing I didn't like about these cases was that they'd chip really easily, especially like the thicker ones for Final Fantasy. And it was really hard to repair them or replace them. So I'm going to give these a 7 out of 10. The PlayStation 2 DVD cases that we got were actually really great. There was a lot of room for your instruction manual. There was your disc inside. And they even did this thing where they put this little space up here where you can put your memory card if you need to. The artwork is very easy to see. I like how the spine looks. I like the design. And I think this is a really solid case. I give this a 8 out of 10. And it's the same idea with the GameCube cases. Very solid cases. You have your instruction manual over here, and you have the disc over here. The discs are a little bit smaller for the GameCube. And they also added this memory card holder, which is good for games like Animal Crossing because they needed its own memory card. I always thought that this thing was kind of weird. I'm not sure why they did this. I think it was like some kind of a security feature where they had to pull something out when you bought the game. But overall, it's a very solid case design. I give it an 8 out of 10. The Xbox cases were nice. I really like the green look of them. That really made them pop out and stand out from the other consoles at the time. The only thing is they didn't have the memory card holder up here. I know that the Xbox does have a built-in hard drive, but I thought that some games still required memory cards. Anyway, it's a pretty solid design. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. The Nintendo DS case is also very nice. It has that same type of security thing that the GameCube game has, where the sides have this little slot here. Now the games are very small for the DS, so you have a lot of extra room in here, which is why they added this one little thing up here for some rumble packs that came with some games, or I guess if you wanted to stick a GBA game, it would fit in there perfectly. There's a lot of room for your instruction manual, and the artwork looks pretty good through it, and I like the size of them. They're a little bit smaller than the standard DVD or CD case. The Nintendo Wii didn't really add too much with their case design. It's pretty standard, so I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 as well. Now the Wii U, I don't really like this case, and I'll tell you why. I know it's probably a way to help save the environment, and it was a cost-cutting method, but look at this silly little areas that they have in here where it's like hollow. I really don't like the way that feels. I really don't like the way that looks. It makes it feel lighter and cheaper, and I just prefer the nice solid look that the other consoles have. So I'm going to give this case a 5 out of 10. The PS Vita cases were pretty nice. I like how you can easily pull out the game if you need to, and there's a nice spot for your instruction manual, and I also like the smaller size of these cases. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I like the 3DS's approach to saving money with their cases better than I did the Wii U. You see how they have these holes to save plastic? At least it looks like there's some style to these holes. They even have the logo right there for the Nintendo 3DS. There's a nice spot for the manual. Oh, look, there's even a Nintendo logo over there. It makes it look so fancy and premium when they do it like that. And it's really easy to grab the games out of this little slot. So I'm going to give this case probably a 8 out of 10. I really do like the PS3 cases, and I'll tell you why. I like this clear look that it has. It's unlike any other console that has this nice clear look. Everything is like see-through. You can see through all the artwork up top, everywhere. And there's still room for the instruction manual, although they were stopped really making a lot of manuals at that point in time. I'm going to give this one a 8 out of 10. The Xbox 360 case isn't really that much of an improvement over the Xbox. If anything, I think it's worse. I think that it has cheaper feeling plastic, and I don't like this color of green as much as I did with the regular Xbox, and it just doesn't look as good. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. And the PS4 cases are kind of similar to the PS3 in the sense that they're very clear and transparent all the way through, including up top. Now they did take off like a half an inch off the top to make these games kind of stand out on their own, and they're a little bit shorter than the standard DVD case. But because it didn't really add too much to this case over the PS3, I think I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. So what's my most favorite game case from over the years? Well, it's got to be this one, the Sega Genesis case. This was such a premium product. When I first saw this, I was like, wow, this console must really be awesome because of this case. And my least favorite is on that same system. To go from the regular Sega Genesis cases to these cardboard pieces of crap was such an insult to Genesis fans, and it's such a slap in the face. And I know Nintendo had cardboard cases back in the day too, but at least Nintendo didn't downgrade us. They didn't go from a really nice fancy case to a piece of crap like this. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed those reviews of all the different game cases from over the years. Thanks for watching and have a great day.